Who is taking the W? Who is taking the trophy? Mhm, mhm. All right, guys, we have that image when he's staring at Robert Sanchez, and I'm sure Trevor Chalobah, those guys are gonna. Oh my god, this shit is boring, bro. Okay. Yeah, guys, for some of you guys who are joining me right now, you are welcome. You are welcome. This is your friend Minon. We are doing a live streaming. We are live streaming on YouTube, and we are actually trying to predict the winner between PSG and Chelsea. This is a soccer match, a football match between two European club biggies, and I'm trying to see if actually if the Chelsea do have a chance. You know, everybody, all the predictions analysis are predicting that are predicting PSG to lift the trophy. But anything is possible in football, guys. Anything is possible. Thank you for the thumbs up, though. I appreciate that. We have 14 people already. Thank you for the thumbs up. Share your opinion with me. Do you like football or you don't like football? Or you're a big fan of some other sport? Look at the difference between my two camera. One of the camera is actually not bad, and then the other is just crazy. But it is what it is. The players are unbelievable. But we need to give Luis Enrique so much credit because he told us this. He literally told us what's. Thank you for the thumbs up. He said after they lost to Dortmund, I say hi to you, my brother. I have zero doubts. I say hi to you guys. Hi to everyone, and thank you for the thumbs up. I appreciate you. May the blessing of the universe come your way. Today is a wonderful day here in Chicago. It is hot. I'm sitting here talking to you. I decided to go live and to talk to you, beautiful people. J Bird, what's up? J Bird Johnny. I don't even know. J Bird Johnny. What's happening, man? Four thumbs up and four people. That's beautiful. I will take that. The fact that we have a player, Mbappe, who moves wherever he wants means that I don't control some situations. But next year, I will control absolutely everything. That's some bullshit right here. That's a there's a narrative going out there that is trying to blame Kylian Mbappe. You know, and this is what I hate, why I hate social media content creators. There's a narrative that says, oh, if PSG, if Mbappe was still playing for PSG, he would have been, you know, PSG would not have make it to the final. All of that is nonsense, actually. Oh, the reason why Real Madrid is playing terribly is because of Mbappe.
This is a narrative that is being pushed around, and we need to actually contradict or try to um, try to expose these content creators. It's just a narrative, it's just a propaganda. It's just that currently they're looking for a villain in a sport, in football world. You should shout me out. Yeah, shout out to my brother. What's up, my man? How you doing? How is everything going with you, my friend? How is everything? I can't even read your name properly, but I will try. JK Wright. What's up, my man? How are you? Where are you from, bro? Where are you from? Tell me where you're from, guys. Arizona, man. I always have a affinity with Arizona. I don't know how my YouTube algorithm work, but they always push me to Arizona. I don't know. I don't know how YouTube work, but it is just like that. Sometimes they just push you. You don't even know the reason why your content is pushed to a certain group of people, to a certain countries, to a certain cities and state. It's just algorithm. YouTube algorithm is funny, but what I was saying is that there's a narrative that is going out there in the football world, in soccer, for my American fan. They're trying to blame a superstar.
And boy, his team have controlled everything.
You lost me, bro. For some of you who are joining me right now, let me do this though. Let me do this. Let me transition to this. Man, that's this kid by the name of Due. He's very famous right now, making some cash.
Ouais, non, ouais, je prends plaisir en plus. Je prends plaisir à presser pour gêner la défense, que ce soit les défenseurs ou le gardien de but. Ouais, non, ouais, je prends plaisir en plus. Je prends plaisir à presser pour gêner la défense, que ce soit les défenseurs ou le gardien de but. Ouais, non.
Oh.
Ouais, je prends plaisir en plus.
So actually, Dembele is saying that he enjoy actually enjoy pressing, enjoy putting pressure on defender to make them commit errors or mistake. So he's telling the world that he enjoy pressing defenders and goalkeeper to force them commit mistakes, and that's what he did to Real Madrid last night. It had nothing to do with the particular players. See, this football thing is a team game. See, it doesn't depend on one player. It doesn't matter if you have the best player, you have Messi. If your team sucks, he's not gonna do nothing. So stop with this nonsense about Mbappe trying to Mbappe is the reason why Real Madrid lost, or Mbappe is the reason why PSG is winning. That's nonsense. That's a narrative. Stop. I feel like the world is just trying to find a villain. Back in the day, it used to be Balotelli, and then Balotelli is gone. They managed to get Paul Pogba, and now they're looking to position Mbappe as this generation villain. That's not gonna happen, guys. That's not gonna happen, man.
This team bought players well. They didn't just buy superstars with names. They bought João Neves as a baby. They bought Vitinha. They bought players that people weren't really looking at and are taking over Europe or destroying Europe. And I really mean that. They are destroying Europe because what they did to Real Madrid today is the same thing they did to Inter Milan a few months ago. And Inter Milan is very good defensively.
Wow.
They were in a Champions League final. So when you look at this, it's not just a Madrid thing. It's not just it's everyone. They are doing this to.
That's what I'm trying to tell people. People will just try to lie, and they will try to pretend as though, it's just the problem is one player. It's not about one player. PSG beat Inter Milan in the final 5-0. Nobody blame any player. PSG beat Atletico Madrid 4-0. They beat who else? What was the team? Atletico Madrid, Inter Milan 4-0. Atletico Madrid 4-0. No, Inter Milan actually 5-0. Inter Miami 4-0, Atletico Madrid 4-0, Real Madrid now 4-0. Nobody, all of this team didn't blame it, didn't put the blame on one player, right? So I don't know the reason why people are now looking to find who's responsible for this defeat that Real Madrid for Real Madrid defeat. Bro, it's not gonna work like that. The team is just very good, and majority of these coaches and they didn't figure out how to play PSG right now. And yeah, I agree with you.
Everyone they play. And I hope I'm wrong here. I don't think it's gonna be close in the final. I don't think Chelsea can beat them.
That's the prognostic, guys. Share your opinion. Chelsea, who do you got winning, taking this final? You know, Chelsea is the underdog now. Chelsea is the underdog. Chelsea, in order for Chelsea to win the final, they have to be, every single player has to be in their top form. Like from defense to goalkeeper to midfield to everyone. You know, they have to be like, they have to give like 100% in order for them to beat PSG. That's how difficult it is. You know, so Chelsea, I mean, if Chelsea manage to do it though, they will start their new season in a good spirit. But it's very difficult, man. It's very difficult to play this PSG team, man. You know, just pray and hope that shit go like the wrong way for PSG, that they didn't like that day they wake up and their player is not feeling good. Something like that. But if they wake up, they're normal, man, it's gonna be very difficult for Chelsea.
I don't think this team. I think this team is very hard to beat right now. I think this team is extremely hard to beat because playing this PSG team is freaking scary, bro. It is a team that when they play your team, they are hard to play against. They press high, they play well, they pass well, they score well. This team bought players well. They didn't just buy superstars with names. They bought Jerome.
Yeah, that's
How do you go from being dispatched pretty comfortably by Dortmund a year ago to being comfortably the best team in the world just a year later? They just dispatched Real Madrid 4-0 in a game that was over after 10 minutes. PSG's turnaround from being like a bit of a laughing stock in Europe in terms of they're never going to get it done.
That's another like incompetent in some of the people who don't know football and who just watch football for the result. PSG has been one of the, I mean, top 3 club in the world for the last 4 years. Last 2-3 years. Just because they were not lucky to win doesn't mean they were not good. You see that English what is it? English content creators. They're just focusing on the English Premier League. They don't know what is going on outside of England. But to be frank, to be true, to tell the truth, PSG has been, they were just not lucky. All of the matches that they played last season in which they got knocked out, the other team was just lucky to beat them. They were PSG has been like the best. They were in the final with again Bayern Munich and they got beat. And you can see that the coach wasn't up to the task. And then they were in the quarterfinal, and then they had a lot of superstars. PSG has been the best team. Don't just come around and say, oh, it's a surprise. Oh, PSG or this PSG wasn't good and now they're good. Nah, bro. You didn't watch. You didn't follow them. If you were following PSG, you would know that this team has been. It was coming. It was coming. It was like one day they knew that one day this coach and there's a reason why Messi decided to leave Barcelona and go to PSG. People need to understand that.
The great pretenders, always the bridesmaid, never the bride. To comfortably win in the Champions League, comfortably dispatching Real Madrid in the Club World Cup. I'd back them against Chelsea, obviously, but you can also never write Chelsea off in competitions like this. They seem to win things. And Dembele might have been right. Sometimes you don't always have to have the best players in the world to be the best team in the world. You need to be the best team in the world rather than the best individuals. And I know people absolutely laud PSG's front line, obviously. Dembele, Barcola, Doué, Kvaratskhelia, like brilliant, fantastic. But PSG's midfield and fullbacks are the thing that moved me most. It's not like PSG have never had a good front line before. They had Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe at one point.
Just a narrative, bro. That's narrative. Besides, like everybody who know football know that Real Madrid wasn't the team to beat PSG.
PSG squads ever in their history.
What?
Players like Mbappe, Neymar, Messi, all in the same squad.
Guys, welcome. I'm just here chilling by myself. Look how many of me are there on the laptop. How many of me do you guys are there? Think are there?
And they still could win the Champions League. Had Di Maria, Verratti, Sergio Ramos in the back, and they still couldn't win the Champions League.
Bro, winning the Champions League is not an indication whether you're good or not. Sometimes the best team doesn't win. Sometimes even the best don't win. Sometimes the best team don't win. It's just one match. One mistake in a match, that's it. One penalty miss, that's it. You're out. And just my problem with a lot of content creators who are analyzing TV performance right now is that they're just very recent. They didn't follow PSG for a while. They just woke up and decided that oh, how come PSG is winning? Why they didn't win? Why they couldn't win back in the days? No, bro. The team was building. The reason why all of these best players, Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe, decided to join them is because people saw something. Those are professional footballers. He joined them when he was the best player in the world, and then from them he went and win World Cup. Messi analyzed. Messi was actually a lot of English Premier League team were trying to convince Messi to move to England, Manchester City included. What was the other team? I think a lot of Manchester City, Liverpool, some people, even Manchester United was talking about it. A lot of English biggies were trying to convince him, especially Manchester City. They were trying to use his relation with Guardiola to convince him to move to Manchester City. But Messi and his manager realized that the best team in the world, the best club that can allow him to win another Champions League was PSG. And he went there because PSG was packed. They had Mbappe, Neymar, Di Maria, Ashraf Hakimi, all of those guys. So people, please stop that nonsense. Oh, how did they move? No, the team has been they've been building, and they've been one of the best top three club in the past. I think 3 years. In the past, at least 3 years. So.
And Hakimi, this squad is able to win the Champions League, and now is going to win the Club World Cup. It does seem kind of odd and weird that this squad, which I think is one of the worst in PSG history, is able to make it so far. Really think about it, this is probably one of the worst PSG squads ever in their.
The camera caught Vinny laughing on the bench, and he had to cover his face because he couldn't hold in his laughter. This is actually beyond shameless, bro. I can't even defend this.
Why are those people like that? Why are people like that? They're just looking for any. There are certain players that are being targeted, guys. Certain players in a team, certain players are being targeted. They don't do it to all other players. They just try to do it to certain group of players, and I think that's wrong. You know, that is very, very wrong. Why is it that you always pinpoint there's certain player that you always trying to blame for your miss opportunity or miss or for your defeat?
While Modric was out there breaking down on the bench, almost in tears because it was his final game with Madrid.
Oh, bro, get the F out of here, man. You're trying to portray Modric as a hero, whereas you want to portray this guy, the Brazilian guy, as the villain.
And we're getting destroyed, and he's going out sad. And then you just have Vinny and Mbappe still not even pressing. Vinny was.
And what was the question is what was this guy doing? What was Modric doing? So now you're looking to blame Vinny and Madrid, Vinny and Mbappe. and for the defeat of Real Madrid. But what was Modric doing actually? You wanna give Modric, you wanna portray Modric as this superhero who was like who is fighting for the team, but Mbappe wasn't fighting. Mbappe and Vini wasn't fighting for the team. They're not pressing. How many minutes did Modric play? And what did he do? What was his contribution to the whole team? Nonsense, bro. Nonsense. People just want to say anything for the sake of not anything though. Some people have an agenda. They're just trying to I think they're trying to push a narrative. They're trying to villainize certain players that they don't like in the club. Just like right now, they're trying to find a person to blame. They don't want to blame the new coach that they brought in, who couldn't figure out a strategy to actually slow down PSG midfield. They don't want to blame. They don't want to talk about him, Alonso, because he's just he's the new coach. He's untouchable. So what do? They go inside the team and they look for the the player to blame, to put all the blame on. And so now they're looking for Mbappe. So you see all of these pundit, all of these English analysts, English journalists now are going after Mbappe. They're trying to portray him as the villain, as the new villain, new generation villain. That's crazy, bro.
Walking for like 15 seconds here while the ball is right next to him, and Courtois, who doesn't hold anything back, let everyone know the problem is that we didn't press as a team.
Oh yeah, so you see what he's doing. For him, Courtois is a good guy. Courtois is a good guy. Modric is a good guy, whereas Vini is a bad guy, and Mbappe is a bad guy. You see that thing? You see where it is going, and the reason is, so like football is a team sport, right? You have a coach who couldn't figure out, who couldn't slow down. He put his starting 11 against a PSG. The starting 11 wasn't able, like within like the first 10 minutes, they were down 2-0. But nobody want to talk about that. Nobody want to talk about the system of play that was put by by Alonso, by the coach, by the head coach. They don't want to talk about it. Why? Because he's a new guy. He's their new, I don't know, superhero or whatever. So now what they do is they forget about the system that caused the defeat, caused them to lose against PSG. Now they go inside the team, they pick certain player that they wanna villainize and then put the blame. So he picked right here. He went and decided to find the pictures of Vini, who was substitute and was sitting on the bench and was a little bit smiling. They cut it and they compared it with a Modric, who was just coming out, was like looking a little bit sad. So he's saying, "Oh, look at this guy. He doesn't even care. He doesn't even care. Vini doesn't even care about the team, the Real Madrid no more." And he comparing that to Modric, who like didn't do nothing. Modric didn't do nothing. Modric was just there, and nobody's talking about him. Nobody's pinpoint. Nobody's investigated what was the role of Modric in that defeat. But they want to just compare Vini to Modric, to make Vini look like the villains. And then the next step is look at Courtois. Look at Courtois also certain player also like they also propagandists, I guess. They also like sell their their teammate in order to be safe from criticism. See, Courtois went out and said we failed to follow Xabi's the coach planned. We need to analyze it, but from what I saw, we were always arriving late. Bro, you can't blame the team. You can't blame the team for the mistake of the coach. The system that you put in place dictate how you play. The system that was put in place by the new coach of Real Madrid made these players behave the way they behave. They couldn't find themselves in that system. So the first person to blame is the coach, Zabi. Zabi, his name is Zabi Alonso, right? Zabi Alonso is the main person, is the number one person to blame in this defeat. It is not about why. It's not about. Do not go inside. Do not go and pick a player. But I'm just trying to destroy this narrative. This narrative that is going around. It's making noises. You know, the journalists in TV take the narrative, and then people like these social media content creators, and then they spread this narrative, or they spread this narrative to make to push the agenda. So now you have people, because of this video, you have people in the comment section that are talking about, let's sell Vinny. Let's sell Vinny. Okay, let's sell Vinny. But nobody's talking about how old is actually Modric. Nobody's talking about Modric's age. You have a young player, and now everybody just look at this system. Look at what happened in Real Madrid. Vinny was the reason why Vinny was part of the reason, the biggest reason why Real Madrid won their Champions League, their last Champions League, along with other Brazilian kid. I forgot. I think his name is Rodrigo. But where is Rodrigo? They forgot about Rodrigo. He won them the Champions League. He saved their asses, and they throw him away. And now they bring in a new guy because he's not the hero they've been looking for. You know, and you have people who are criticizing him and pushing the agenda online. But we need to push back on this kind of this kind of hypocrisy that is going around.
As a team, so he's calling out two players, I think, or the attack. He's calling out Vinny and Mbappe. He's saying the team was pressing, but
he's taking the interview of Courtois that says we failed to follow Zabi or the head coach plans. He's saying, he's taking that and he's interpreted, he's like translating it into that Courtois was pointing at what Mbappe and Vinny. Is that what he's trying to do here? You know, you see how funny it is. So it's like we playing 11 player. You forgot about the defender who give the first goal. Hello, what's up, my brother? I'm talking about football here. You know, if you follow football, whoa, what's up? Long time not seeing, bro. Long time not seeing. How is life going with you, my friend? How is life going with you? I'm talking about the hypocrisy that exists within the sport community, especially in Europe, in football. Yeah, I'm doing well, my friend. I'm doing well. I decided to come and stream live to debunk some of the narrative that is going around. You know, they're pushing narrative, they're pushing agenda, shit like that. Harvey, what's up? Where are you right now? Thank you for the thumbs up, by the way. Thank you. I appreciate that. Long time not seen, and you coming back with the thumbs up. UK, bro. So as a UK person, what's up? Who do you got in the final? You know that Chelsea is the underdog. I was telling people that Chelsea is the underdog in this final match. And PSG is the team to beat. But I was debunking. I was going online and debunk the narrative. People are pushing certain narrative. They're trying to blame. You know how the world is, how the football world is. The journalists, whenever a team get beaten, they always try to find a person to blame. Yeah, PSG most likely to win. Yes, I agree with you. But the PSG team has been in the building in the past. The PSG has been one of the best three team in the world, or in Europe at least, for the last 3 years. And that's what people don't know. And just because they couldn't win the UEFA Champions League back in the day, I mean last year or the year before, that doesn't mean that, oh, now it's a surprise. Because right now people, Real Madrid fan and the journalists who have their agenda, they're going around, they're pushing this narrative that, oh, the reason why PSG is winning now is because Mbappe is out of PSG. And on the other hand, yesterday, when Real Madrid got destroyed by PSG 4-0, People are going around and pushing the narrative that, oh, the reason why they won PSG or Real Madrid was destroyed is because of Kylian Mbappe or Vini, you know, that didn't push. It's a team sport, guys. It's a team sport. You can't just blame one person. And the first person, if you want to blame a person, blame a person, the first person is the manager. You have to start with the manager who put a system that was detrimental, was against his own team. He put a system. That system allowed PSG to score 2 goals within 10 minutes. So this is not a player problem. This is a coach issue. A coach who read his opponent wrong. Who read his opponent incorrectly. Honestly, most people in the UK don't really care about the Club World Cup, as we believe it is a pretty. Yeah, it's a pretty. I mean, there's a lot of money involved in it. FIFA want to get a lot of money. FIFA is trying to put a lot of money. FIFA is trying to make a lot of money on this club and all of that. So, yeah. So that's but anyway.
You know what I'm saying? Players are arriving late and they're not getting there in time. They're not focused. Are we not even trying to win for our legends anymore? It was Modric's final game, and
it was Modric's final game. What did Modric do? Are we not? What did he do? You see how this guy is? This social media. I hate it. I always wanted to go around and find this social media. What is it? Social media folks who have this narrative that they're trying to push. I mean, I want to just go around and just debunk their narrative. They've ruined our beautiful sport for money, and I hate it. Too many competition. Yeah, there's a lot of competition, man. These players are not, and that's the reason why even when the World Cup come, all of these players are tired. Majority of these players that play for international player that play for the for clubs, by the time the World Cup, a big tournament is around, they're already tired. You know, some of these players, they have like 60, 70 match, played already. And you are asking them to play in a World Cup to represent their country. They're not going to be, that's why right now, the underdogs are beating the big team, you know. So, I agree with you, too many competition. But these people, this kind of narrative need to stop.
Even try to give it your 100%, bro. Does everyone just want to go on vacation or something? I don't know what Xabi Alonso is going to do, but he has to change something fast because the mentality with these players, it's not it. It's not it.
Look at this sellout. He's just targeting one player. He's targeting one player, and he want to do damage control, and he's pushing the agenda. Vini is the reason. Vini is the biggest reason why Real Madrid won their last UEFA Champions League. But now you wanna just push an agenda so that they can push him out of the club. After, these are the kind of people who made Vini lose the FIFA the Ballon d'Or. Remember the Ballon d'Or vote, whereby Vini did everything for the Real Madrid, won everything, but only for them to go around and look for a person who was like, we didn't hear of before, and then decide to give him that Ballon d'Or. And now they're coming with the same propaganda, trying to blame him for the damage that was done on the team, on Real Madrid team. The first person to be blamed, like I say, is the manager. This is a team sport, and the system you put in place allow your player to express themselves, whether positively or negatively. It depend on what kind of system you put in. If you put the player in a system that they don't find themselves comfortable, they don't feel comfortable expressing themselves, it's on you, the coach, not the player. See, but we already know the coach. Xabi is a new coach, so he's not to be blamed, and no other player to be blamed, but except certain player like Mbappe and Vini. That's the narrative need to stop, guys, and this is shameful.
The camera caught.
How many people are watching from this side, guys? For those of you who are just coming right now, I'm just streaming from both sides, but we're going around and debunking the myth, the narrative. And the head of FIFA is really, really annoying. Yeah, it's all business, guys. It's all business. It's all what am I say? It's all business. It's all corruption. I don't know what's going on.
Three things we learned from Real Madrid's loss against PSG. Number one, amateur mistakes against the Champions League winners will cost you. Both Asensio and Rudiger made two horrible mistakes that, let's be honest, no pro player for Real Madrid should be making. Real Madrid pretty much handed the game to PSG. Asensio's mistake was bad. Rudiger's was even more horrible in my opinion. Pretty much all the momentum that Real Madrid built during this tournament was lost in 10 minutes. And to do that against PSG, like I said, the Champions League winners, the best team in the world, is just a recipe for disaster. Like I said in my previous video, Dean Housen was going to be a huge loss for Real Madrid, and he was. One positive from today, though, is that when Militao got onto the pitch, he was actually very good. He subbed on for, 25 minutes, and he was our best player. After 2 ACL tears, I somehow hope that Militao can get back to his best form, because when he's at his best, he's probably our best center-back, alongside Dean Housen. If Militao can get back to his best form, our 2 center-backs should be Militao as our right center-back, and Housen as our left center back. Number 2, can Vinny and Mbappe both start together under Xabi Alonso? It's not a great look that today both of them started and lost. And in the last 5 matches prior to this one, they didn't play together, and Real Madrid won every single match. Obviously today it was against PSG, the best team in the world, and 2 important players for Real Madrid didn't play today. Trent because he got injured, and Housen because of the red card. I don't think Xabi was going to start both if both Housen and Trent were healthy. I think he would have just gone.
Yeah, bro.
Modric and Vasquez cannot believe what they are witnessing in their last game for Real Madrid as they are getting battered by PSG. Because for the first time ever, Joe Bellingham travelled with the Real Madrid squad as everybody thought this would be a good luck charm. But literally, as the game started, Courtois was already making insane saves, and then Desiree Doué played.
That's where we need to. That's where the issues come in. The game is started, and already the PSG player were in front of Courtois. The system failed them, not the players. Don't go around trying to blame individual player. Look for the managers and ask him why did he decided to start the way he started. You playing with a team that has the best midfield in the world, and you decided to sacrifice your midfield. Who did you put on the midfield in your midfield? You had who? Chouameni. What's the other guy? The captain. I forgot his name. And who else? A kid from Turkey. Man, that was the mistake. You needed to fill that midfield. You needed to have a bunch of midfielder in that midfield in order to compete with the biggies like Vitina and the PSG. Actually, the whole PSG midfield. Because the PSG midfield, what you guys don't know is that even the defenders in PSG become midfielders. Yeah, anyway,
the ball into the box, and Asensio couldn't clear it as he was left on the floor by Dembele, which led to PSG opening the score by making it 1-0 thanks to Fabian Ruiz. And Asensio just had to hang his head in shame. But then if that wasn't bad enough, the other centre-back...
Yeah, the thing is, if you don't have a good midfield, your defense is gonna be exposed, and that's what happened in that match. The reason why you guys are seeing, the reason why Rudiger and the other defender were forced to make those kind of mistakes is because the first 3-4 minutes, PSG was in front of Courtois. Their midfield failed them, and there's no person, there's no midfielder. We shouldn't just pinpoint a midfielder and blame them. It's the coach. The coach decide who play and what. The coach supposed to know. The manager is supposed to know the ability or the capacity of each and every player that he has. Supposed to know where you're good at, where each player is good at and where they're not. And he's supposed to decide by and make a system based on that. He didn't do that, so he exposed his defense and his goalkeeper. That's what ended up happening. So stop this nonsense of Mbappe, Vini. They didn't. Is the system failed them? 2-3 minutes, and you have your opponent in front of goalkeeper. What do you expect them to do, except to just commit those kind of amateur mistake? You know.
Ended up miskicking the ball. There's only one player that you don't want to make a mistake around, and that's Dembele. As he saw his opportunity, he found himself wrong one, and there was only gonna be one out.
Dembele
made it 2-0. And but
before the game, I told my homies, Madrid's going to get smacked. It doesn't matter if their center back got a red card. It doesn't matter who lines up in the back. Real Madrid is going to get smacked because Real Madrid is going up against the best team in Europe. And Xabi Alonso hasn't had enough time.
That's what people need to know. People need to just understand. You're going against the best team in Europe. That's it. Stop this nonsense of trying to find a player to blame on your defeat, on your loss. You are just going, and just like everybody, Inter Milan lost in final in front of PSG, UEFA Champions League final, which is one of the most important match for all European. They lost in the final 5-0, and they didn't go around looking for a player to blame. It's just that we just need to admit that this team is good, and that's it. Stop with that nonsense.
We got what we got last season. Absolute disaster class of performances from the center backs. Losing
against the center back. The reason why the center back performed the way they performed is because of the midfield. When you don't have a strong midfield, it doesn't matter who you put in the defense. It doesn't matter whether the center back is the best in the world. They will get exposed. That's what everybody is failing to understand. The reason why PSG is the way they are, the reason why PSG defenders are allowed to go forward is because they trust their midfield. Their midfield is so strong. Look at the ball position. You know, it's like a close to 70%. PSG were dominating in that match. So let me repeat myself. It doesn't matter how good your defender, your center back is. If your midfield is not able, is not strong enough, you will be in trouble, and your center back will make a lot of mistakes because they are just like in front of a non-stop attack. So that there will be all PSG. The first 3 minutes you saw all PSG player in front of Courtois, your goalkeeper, and it's gonna make them panic. And once they panic, they will make a silly mistake. So that's what ended up happening. Stop blaming, stop shaming some certain player because you have an agenda. You want them out of the club. That's not it. That's not it. Stop that. All right, guys. How many people are still there? Nya. Okay, guys. I'm coming back. But like I say, people are just trying to find somebody to blame in this unfortunate thing. But I'm coming back, guys. It looks like everybody is out. I'm coming back. I'm gonna use the restroom, and then I'll be back, guys. This one here, I'll be back.